the
You
first
know
season.
what? Y'all are delusional tonight. I don't know what's
I didn't
going
say it
on
wasn't
here.
good. I just said I didn't. Oh my god!
Shots fired. I didn't even watch the show, so
Gosh, whatever's in that cup.
I know, right? I want what he has.
No, you don't.
Truth. It is truth serum in my cup.
Oh, finally.
God.
Let's see. What are they screaming about in the comments? What are you guys excited to see? Let's see. Chucky season 4 announcement. Did we all watch it first of all? Season 3?
Yes.
Mark, it's okay. Really, trust us. It's okay.
Yeah.
We couldn't describe it even if we want.
Right.
It's such a clusterfuck of nothingness that is ridiculous that this is. It's honestly, I forgot that the trio of them are the main characters because they don't do anything really. It's just like they're just in these episodes.
Do we blame the writer's strike for that though, or is it just because you know how they hit the divided? They have to, there was some space. So
I think their season was already. I'm not gonna give it to them.
It has some cool things in it, but overall, the season was already like it had me a little bit in season 2. I'm like, okay, it's cute, sure, whatever. But then this season, guys, I don't know. Unless they're bringing back some old OGs from the movies in season 4, I'm not that excited. I'm not.
I mean, Mark, definitely watch it, but I will say this: I'm not interested in the main characters any longer. It had CGI in the last episode was awful.
It was terrible. I hated that so much.
Maybe it was intentional.
It was great though.
I'm just gonna say I only watch at this point just for Chucky. I don't care about anybody on there. I don't really understand what the fuck is happening, what he's trying to do. I don't know, and I don't care. But I'll probably still watch replays.
Trying to take over the world. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, it needs to start because, girl, how long have you been doing this?
I can't say much. He tried to do something, but I think they focused so much on what was happening to him becoming old in season 3 that we lost what the mission was. It's just more comedy. I mean, it's always been comedy, but it was just I don't know. I'm not gonna say much because I don't want to spoil it for Mark, but.
I don't get it.
We can move on if y'all want to. But
I got
a question.
Sure.
I got a question for everybody on the panel.
Yes, sir.
Is season 3? Was it better than American Horror Story Delicate, or they took it this year?
Yeah,
I didn't watch that. So
that doesn't take much at all.
Me and Tamar we were texting each other throughout, and I'm just like,
Y'all, I have never in my life experienced a finale of a TV show that bad. I've never seen a season of a show, especially a beloved show, that I hated so badly. This season was disturbing, and we're not here to talk about it. We'll eventually get to the rise and fall of American Horror Story, but I was very disgusted by
that was me. That was me at the end of season 10. So y'all are at where I was at the end of season 10.
Is that Apocalypse or
no? That was Red Tide and
oh yeah,
I like that season 10.
Death Valley was just a waste of time. I'm sorry, but I ain't trying to
100%.
Lies. The modern
I have receipts because you forgot that you were on the live.
The flashbacks were good. The flashbacks were good. It was the modern scenes of Death Valley. I was just like, this is not what I wanted.
Okay.
We could do a whole episode as well.
We will. The rise and fall. Yeah. Trust me, me and Bobby was talking about this last season. A whole show has came up from it. We're gonna
Delicate was just a waste of time, waste of energy. Just
resources.
Don't even bother.
Of course, Germ.
It was too much. So what I've been watching to move on, I guess, so we don't go too much. I would say, wait, what have I been watching? Oh, Them season 2.
Yeah,
I've been watching that. I love that show. It was so good. I know a lot of people was like a little apprehensive of watching the second season just because, you know, the first season was a little traumatic in some episodes, but this season is a little bit lighter, but still pretty scary. You said what?
No, I
have
agree with
words
you.
about that.
Yeah, but Luke James, Pam Grier, the actress Deborah, I forgot her. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I think everybody just did an amazing job in season 2. It was a good scary time, and I just love it, and I recommend that everybody watch that one. So that's what I'm screaming about.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it did that one thing at the end that connective tissue,
Mm-hmm.
and how they did it was smart. It was unexpected, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
God damn! I gotta watch the first season. I gotta finish the first season.
Not really. You can
You
watch.
should. You should.
Yeah. I mean, technically you don't have to, but like Mike said, you should, but you don't have to because there's still some familiar things happening. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. When I call y'all high off my gummies, I will, you know, I need to hold.
You're gonna need it. You know how we binge stuff. I had to watch it in 2 episodes and then take a break, and then 2 episodes and take a break. That's how the first season was. But this one, I just went straight through it.
Well, the words that I had. I'm sorry.
Germ, we are so excited to see from season 3. Of course, it's there. But from the pictures I saw, or was that the trailer I saw?
The trailer, there's different people up in there.
It's like they went to an alternate universe, or there's another group of people that showed up. I don't know. I'm excited to find out.
It's given Lost at this point. That's what it's given.
And I hope we're not lost by the end of it. So, there's that. And
protect Donna. That's all I gotta say.
And Jade.
Well, to piggyback off of all of that, I think that From is going to be the next series I binge all weekend.
Okay.
So I can catch up. So I can be on. Because I
thought you said trauma.
No, not trauma.
From.
But From.
You can't live that down, Bobby.
I
can't.
Beetlejuice. I don't know.
Yeah, I love Beetlejuice. I know like a lot of people didn't care for Beetlejuice, especially because of certain things that happened in the movie. But I grew up with Beetlejuice. I love the movie, so I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
I know like the first one. I don't know what this is gonna be like. I'm gonna watch it, obviously, but I'm curious.
The same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be the same thing, but
so he's gonna try to hit up on what's her name,
Miss Ortega. He's gonna try to marry Miss Ortega.
I doubt it. I think they're probably going to change it around because of all the things. Because of that, because of him being a weird monster, grown adult trying to go after a child. So they might change it up. I don't know.
Oh, true. And then if you notice, this one is called Beetlejuice. So I'm sure we're gonna get the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if we're finished with what we're screaming about. I've been screaming about some books. So because y'all took off movies and options, but there's a new book out that takes place within the Phantasm universe that was written by John Corselli. How you pronounce his name?
I don't remember. It starts with a C.
Oh, okay. It's Coscarelli. We're going to just say it like this. Sorry, Mr. Don, for butchering your name. The name of the book is called Fiction, which is PHICTION, and it's called Stories Within the Phantasm Universe. They even have a story featuring Rocky before she meets up with them in Phantasm 3. And it's, I think, 6 stories total. And they're all, done by Don. It just came out this week in paperback form. You can find it on Amazon. And also, I finally got my Fangoria magazine because there's something going on with the Memphis Postal Service Nobody around here was getting their shit. So little insider news, I found out that nobody was like they were having issues with people who subscribe to Fangoria here in Memphis did not get their issues like they're supposed to. So I finally got it today. And yeah, I cannot wait to dive into that. Now they got to talk me that Chucky season 3 is like a little bit lackluster. Question: do y'all think that's why they was asking all the fans like to call that number to show interest in Chucky season 3?
No,
Still,
I think it's just more engagement for one, but they are literally campaigning for a season 4.
Yeah.
But he already announced that they're doing a new movie too. So there's that.
Yes, like
I do want to see In a Violent Nature. Mark,
yes,
I did not like Hocus Pocus 2 at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Beautiful colors. That's all. Beautiful gowns. Okay. But that's all. That movie was, I don't know, man.
It was
it was a fever dream. Honestly, like I don't remember much about it.
I know there was a lot of the commentary going around saying they should have adapted the book that they did a sequel to, the book sequel. They said they should have adapted their story. I didn't read it. I'm just asking.
I didn't read it either.
I didn't either. I just think it's weird they didn't bring back Danny or what was her name? Max. And Allison. And I just thought it was weird that none of them was in it, but you know me.
Well, Danny was supposed to come back, but I think it was like conflicting schedules. She was working on something at that time. Like, I don't know what she was working on because I don't see her on anything right now.
Nothing.
But that's what they said apparently. So
she was in the movie Train. Okay, I think that was her.
She was in 2018, 17.
That's recent. That's recent.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but they started filming Hocus Pocus in like 2021, like right after the pandemic. So she had time.
We don't know what was going
on. Liars. We need a drink.
Yeah.
I'm out, so I'll be drinking.
Well, damn.
It didn't take much to make this shot.
But I'll reserve that for later.
What?
Slow down, Michael. Yeah, let's just jump right into the history of Pretty Little Liars. Did anyone read the books or watch the original show?
Hell no.
Nope.
Okay, so I watched the show. I didn't read the books. The show came out in June of 2010. Jesus, that was a long time ago.
So long ago. That was a whole other lifetime ago.
Based off the books from Sarah Shepard. Same concept, 5 girls going through drama after the queen bee, which is Allison De Laurentiis, disappears and then her body shows up a year later. So we have 7 seasons of them trying to figure out who A was. And by the 4th season, we could have been wrapped. The characters are actually really enjoyable in the first series. It's Hannah, Spencer, Allison, Aria, and I never remember the athlete.
Emily. Emily.
Who? And Emily. Mm-hmm. Yes, and Emily. And so that show ran for 7 seasons. And actually they decided, just a spoiler, not a spoiler, but a fun fact, they decided to cancel the show, but they were all ready to go to season 8. Thank God we didn't do that. So
7 seasons. Did they really care that much who this person was?
It's ridiculous.
Because you gonna tell them, Tamar, you want me to? Because I have words.
Go ahead.
That's the reason why I fell off on the show, and I was kind of like hesitant to come to this one because every time you think that you've gotten closer to A, it'll be another twist. Like, okay, this person who y'all been thinking it was A this whole entire season is not A. Y'all done found a whole other little scenario that's thrown a wrench in everybody's plans, or the person was working for A or with A. They either died, got arrested, and then as soon as they think the shit is over with, bling, bling, bling.
Text message.
It's kind of like Gossip Girl, like a menacing Gossip Girl.
It's
You
awful.
bitches thought you had me. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have me. I'm A. You can never catch me. And I got fed up
We
mid-season
all were
of
fed
season
up.
4. I was like, there's a twist in the middle of season 4 because they used to air the first couple of seasons. They would air. You always know that the Halloween episode was like the 10th episode, and then they're doing 10 a year. And then so mid-season during season 4, there was a twist, and I literally did the which is Mark talking about. That episode also spun off Ravenswood, which was actually to me way better than what Pretty Little Lies was doing at the time. But Ravenswood got canceled after one season with
10 episodes
all sorts of unanswered questions or whatnot they introduced to the show, into the mythology. Bottom line, I was nervous coming into this Pretty Little Liars because they kept prolonging everything on that end with the mystery of A. And then after the 7th season of Pretty Little Liars, the original show, I ain't trying. Would you have a script, Tamon, or
Go ahead, you got it.
they did something else because the initial Pretty Little Liars book series was 8 books.
This sounds boring. I'm just gonna say
Boring
because they changed so much. And it's like because the popularity of the show, they added like I want to say 5 more books. And the prequel, the spin-off show, The Perfectionist, is actually it had no real ties to Pretty Little Liars. And it's just a name only because I guess Freeform at the time was like, we really want to still make money off of this. So they took another book series. Yeah. So they took another.
Well, wasn't it like ABC Family at one point?
It was.
Then it turned into Freeform.
Yes.
Right.
But Allison and Mona was on The Perfectionist. And it had the idea, the concept was okay because it was set on a college campus versus us being in high school again, which seems like it will be great, but they did absolutely nothing with the premise of that show. Germ said, my fave liar was Emily, then Spencer, and then Mona. Mine was Hannah and Aria. But y'all don't probably know.
No. Mine is Shaka Khan.
She was on there too. And so before we jump right into talking about Original Sin, let's per usual, we like to cast ourselves in these wonderful shows. And we took a fun quiz to figure out who we would be. We're going to drop that quiz into the chat so you guys can sort of take the quiz too and figure out who you are on the Pretty Little Liars originals. Pretty Little Liars.
Excuse me, sorry.
Original Sin cast. But before we took the quiz, we had a conversation who we thought we would be, and actually Michael sort of casted us. Michael said that Bobby was Mouse, or what's her real name in the show?
No, I thought Bobby was Tabitha. I gave him.
Oh,
I think
that's what I meant.
Mark was Mouse. You, I gave Farron. And I was Noah. Yeah, I think that's what I did.
So that's how we went into it. I know, right? But some of the results didn't show up that way. So let's look at these results. Okay. the irony here is, right?
I'm living right now.
Don't live for this, Bobby, because I didn't dislike her character. However, she is not the girl that I So, Imogen Adams, you're like Imogen. You always seek out the truth, even when that puts you in stressful or dangerous situations.
Yeah.
Always. I'm just gonna always be. And you have a big heart and a comforting personality. Oh, I do care a lot.
I didn't get that from her at all on that show, but
yeah, she was a bit annoying.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
In the last 48 hours, I've come to know Imogen. I kept seeing Sabrina from the
Yeah.
Did you call it Emma Jean?
He called her Emma Jean. Yes.
That's what she's gonna be called, Emma Jean.
Emma Jean.
Is it Imogen?
It's Imogen.
Oh
Look.
shit!
Yes.
I love you, Mark.
But I like Imogen now.
Y'all gotta excuse me. I hit an edible. So just leave me the fuck alone.
Yes, God.
Leave me alone. Okay, so but no, in the 48 hours that I've come to know Imogen, whatever her name is,
Emma Jean Adams.
in the 24 hours I've come to know young lady, all I see is Sabrina.
Yes.
And all I see, I mean, she just I'm not saying she was not my favorite though, but I see it, Taylon. I can see some of that in you.
Well, she wasn't my favorite.
Especially the part that even when they
I didn't like her until like the last scene, one of the last scenes in the end, when she was going up against the villain.
I liked her then, but she likes the thing I don't like about Sabrina is she has this. I can't think of the word, but it's just like
she's just loud and wrong half the time.
I love that. Yes,
so annoying.
Just relax, girl.
Yeah.
Trivia. It says that Imogen was an interesting mix between Hannah, Spencer, and Allison, and those were the main girls.
I can't see it.
I see Spencer.
I see Spencer,
and maybe Hannah. But you have to. I remember that she was a part of the Mean Girl crew, but she still was like the nicer one of the crew. So I don't know.
Who?
Imogen. She was friends with the twins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about Hannah. I'm like, no, Hannah was a mean. She had a heart to go. But go ahead.
Yeah, Hannah was a Mean Girl. Yeah. Okay, so that's me. Next.
Tabby.
You're like
I was kind of
Tabby.
shocked at this.
You have a creative spirit and love getting lost in a good film. You're not afraid to make a splash or speak your truth. I actually not shocked actually that this was you because she's like that film movie buff of this franchise. Mm-hmm. And so like I think that fits in your wheelhouse as well. But go ahead.
She is a lesbian as well. So there's that.
There you go.
Huh?
In real life?
No, I think the character's a lesbian.
No, she's not.
I didn't get there for her. And the reason why
we'll see.
I'll explain later on when we get deeper into discussing the show. But I was just shocked that I got her, even though I do agree with the but I was actually hoping to get Farron, but I'll explain it later.
Me too.
Wow, you know.
Mark said not to be shady, but Bailey Madison is the only reason the show got made because I know a lot of people was not interested in it.
I mean, she's the only one I recognize out of the girls, but Strangers 2, Pray at Night.
She was in that movie with that doll. She was in The Strangers 2. She was in Once Upon a Time as young Snow White. She's in the Good Witch TV show. I've been watching her career since she was a little girl, so I'm extremely excited to see her. And I think she's going to be announced for another role in the horror movie franchise too soon. But she's a scream queen. Has been one for a very long time.
I didn't know that.
We'll talk about some of our highlights about what we think about these characters later on. But Tabby was one of my favorites too in the season. Mm-hmm. She has a certain moment when she was going into the basement that I'm sure we'll get into later. She was just like her references. She was just spot on. She was the Mindy Meeks I wish we had. All right, and the next part, next is Mike. Farron, brilliant. You're like Farron. You're highly dedicated and always push yourself to be the best. You carry yourself with confidence and grace. Grace?
Grace. Yeah.
I don't know about Grace, but
Grace, absolutely.
Grace?
Yes.
I have to drink to that.
I am very graceful.
And delicate.
I
Yeah.
act like Mark. I was surprised I was not thinking that Farron would be the one I would get. I would have thought I would have got Mouse or Noah probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, who can argue with the quiz?
Who can argue with BuzzFeed? And for once, you know, I think they surprised us all, actually. Okay, next is Bobby.
Same thing, Tabby.
Bobby
makes sense.
Makes sense for sure.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
No. Let me stop. No, Tabby is actually one of my faves. I love her a lot. Mouse is also one of my favorites too. I love her as well. But Tabby, like, soon as I watched the show, when we were like talking about it last season and even like texting each other, like I just see myself in that character because of, you know, pretty much what it describes right here as far as her loving a good horror film and the references and stuff like that. And you know me, bitch, I pick up on anything in a movie. So yes.
So a lesbian.
None of us got
and a lesbian, yes.
Mouse.
Nobody got Noah
Mouse or
either.
Noah. I'm curious what they said too. Well, Germ said he got Mouse. So Jeremy, what did Mouse say?
Christy too, from In Love with Horror. They got Mouse as well.
Okay, so it's not rigged. This is just who we are, y'all. So I'll find a better picture for my background for Imogen, but I'll be Imogen for season 2. Hopefully, she's living her best life. Now that she's subtracted something from her, but we'll get into that in just a moment.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Well, observant and nobody gives us credit.
That's
I
what
mean,
will we say James' Mouse?
Hell no.
No, he's Karen.
He's Karen.
Yes.
Jeremy is Karen.
Definitely Karen.
Woo!
For sure. Karen Beasley.
Oh, the shade.
Observe. Yes, I believe that for Christy, but not Jeremy.
Let's just. What did he say?
See why am I in it?
It's okay. Well, on that, we're going to take a quick commercial. Come back, we're going to come in and just do a quick rundown of season 1, talk about some really cool points that we all appreciate, and have a sip on us liars. And we're back after a short commercial. And that is Killer Board Game. Killer, make sure you check them out on Instagram. I don't have the game at arm's length right now, but I do have it, and it's super fun. Killer Card Game on Instagram. Check them out. Season 1 of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. As a fan of the original show, I was sort of hesitant on jumping into this, but they gave us 3 episodes on the first night. So that's a cool way to start us off. And from the very beginning, I was like, okay, we are jumping into different territories than the original show had. So it starts us off with in 1999. and that's where we actually meet the first set of liars. So where were y'all at in 1999? Mark,
high school.
you were what, a
I was in
sophomore?
high school. I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a sophomore because the 99 2000 school year. No, I was a sophomore. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a freshman.
98, 99 school years. Yeah. Excuse me. Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a freshman 99, 2000. 99.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in the 5th or 6th grade in 99.
okay.
Wait a minute.
Maybe the 5th, because
That was
7th grade, it was 90. Yeah, I think I was in the 5th and 6th grade, one of those.
What about you, Michael?
I'm trying to remember. I was 13.
Probably 8th grade.
Probably, yeah, around that.
Mhm.
Because I have an early birthday, so usually it's like a year before whatever grade.
Mm.
A sign that you know that you're not getting older but maturing is that when now you're the age of the parents of the main characters of the movies that you like. And so
Yes.
Mark and I, for sure, they were juniors, I think, the parents of the
No, they were seniors. They were
seniors. So, we were in high school with them. So Jesus.
That's wild.
I know, it's crazy. So we meet what we find out to be the current liars' mothers. And what we see in the beginning of the show is that a girl named Angela Waters, she commits suicide after walking into the spring dance. And this is sort of the setup for this entire show and what everything is sort of linchpins off of this one event and how we got to that point. I love the fact that every show or every movie has their way of introducing their characters and saying who they are and making sure they do it in a cool, organic way. And for this one, they did a cool job of when Imogen and Tabby came to school after Imogen's mother killed herself, allegedly killed herself at this point, which was, for me, that was really odd, but some facts that came out about the mother later on sort of helped make that more believable. However, to the point, the entering way when they first met Karen and all the girls had their own different reactions with Karen and interaction with Karen, that was a really cool way to sort of say, here are these characters, to hear their personalities, and this is what they bring. And I love that none of them were actually just like weak marks as it relates to dealing with someone like Karen versus how the old one was, where the mean girl people were like, we're not going to do it because you didn't play with Allison. But this one, they're not even having that from Karen. What do y'all think?
Very different.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying it's very different from the original show in that, number one, there was not there wasn't a prior group of liars. There wasn't a prior group of liars. So already the concept of the show, Original Sin, I don't want to jump too far into breaking down the show's themes and stuff like that, but by it being called Original Sin, and there's always been that moniker, Sins of the Father, but they didn't flipped it with this show and it's now Sins of the Mothers. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just it sucks you in as soon as you get to seeing Carly Pope, who plays Davy, who is the head mean girl in high school, but now she's like this doting. Yeah, because it's like you think your mom is the world, you know what I'm saying? But then these girls are realizing that their heroes, or like the people who they think their moms are not, except for like Farron. Probably said this here. She probably thinks her mom's a holy terror, and she kind of is, initially. But I seeing 1999 and seeing that this is where all this shit stemmed from was like a slap to my face, because I was like, Jesus Christ. 1999, like Tamon was brought it in, like these are like our kids are now dealing with the shit that we was dealing with when we was like, so it's just like, Jesus Christ. 99.
I just think that it's great. It felt really prom nightish, how they had this backstory set up from the very beginning about the events that took place, and it was centered around a dance. So that's another nod to horror that it does so well, unlike the original series, which was not really like that. Exactly. Mike, what did you think about how they introduced the characters and their archetypes, actually?
I enjoyed it. I think they did a good job of, because I can't stand when they overly explain people, and so I think they did a good job of giving us a hint of who everyone is. I did not like Irma Jean. I like Tabitha. I like Noah. I like Mouse. I like Farron. I wasn't sure at first, but I ended up liking her. But I don't have a reference point for the other show, so I wasn't sure who was supposed to be what character. Yeah. And I was nervous coming into this just because Pretty Little Lies, when I hear that, I think of some shit I do not want to watch. So when you were like, oh, we should watch it, I was thinking, I could wait. But then what really pulled me in was all the like horror movie references. Like even the scene where you were talking about Tabitha and Irma Jean walking, it reminded me of Halloween.
It was.
So just small little references throughout the show got me intrigued.
Yeah, when I first saw Farron, I knew I liked how she walked into the building. She was sexy. She was doing her thing. And of course, no surprise, I really love Karen. I liked Karen and Farron. Yeah. What about you, Bobby? How did you feel about how they introduced the characters, and how did you connect with that?
Pretty much the same, like again, like Mike said, I don't really have a connection to the OG Pretty Little Liars. My sister used to watch it a lot, and she always tried to get me to get into it, but I'm just like, I'm not watching that bullshit, like whatever. And I tried watching it with her, and I just couldn't get into it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just where I was at in my, that life at the time. But I do like the characters. I thought Farron was going to be a bitch when we got introduced to her. I thought I wasn't going to. I wasn't too sure if I was going to like her or not, but she's actually one of my faves. And again, I love all the characters. Emma Jean, whatever her name. Like she got on my nerves throughout the season, but I did enjoy some things about her character throughout the season.
Christy,
she wasn't.
Y'all gotta watch Yellow Jackets.
Oh, please.
She wasn't all horrible.
No, the word I was looking for earlier was self-righteous. Like she's on this whole thing to try to solve this mystery, no matter who gets in her way, no matter what she does wrong, no matter what adults she doesn't listen to, just like Sabrina.
Sounds just like a certain reporter from a popular franchise.
Maybe that's why I actually got the quiz result of Imogen. So yeah, okay, I'll take that.
But yeah, they're all great. They're all great.
Yeah, they that's what I really like, because all of the characters are so good. And that opening scene when they met Karen they all ate her ass up just a little, even though she was fighting back for sure. But especially Noah. Farron got her together and kept it moving really quickly.
I will say one thing I really do, like Mike mentioned, like the references and stuff too, like it's throughout pretty much every episode of this season. Yeah. And I enjoy that. You could just tell somebody who truly loves horror did this, and they knew what they were doing. A fan did this, and I think that's why we all enjoy it too. I just wish a lot of people talked about it more. I don't really hear too many people talking about the show or even the characters. Somebody put on Twitter probably about a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, a chase scene was with Noah? It was Noah. Yeah, and that chase scene ate. Like, I forgot about that, and when I seen it, I was like, hold up. So yeah, these characters, man, they're good. Yeah,
and I think one of the moments for me to echo that, Bobby, was when they went to Michael's mother's law firm, and the name of the law firm was Prescott, Ripley, and Strode. And I was just like,
oh yeah,
okay,
I did
y'all,
not
I
pick
see
that
you.
up.
you didn't
Yeah.
see
I did
that,
not pick
Mark?
that
Wow.
up.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I guess because I
Yeah,
was so
so
stuck
that
on the
was
Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yeah. That's when I fell in love. I was like, okay, I see y'all. You got the baddies
Mhm.
on the wall. I see it.
Hells
I
yeah.
will give you. I will say this. There's two things I took note. I'm piggybacking off by both of y'all. It was like like you guys said, you could tell somebody who was deeply into the horror love this shit. My problem was not my problem. There was a certain posters in the, I guess, the film room that I was like, okay, these are not, because some we know people who are film snobs. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't see myself walking into a film class and seeing something like what was on their wall that was like, I know this is just an Easter egg just for the sake of being an Easter egg because I can't see it on the film wall. I forget what horror movie they had on the wall, and I was like,
was it The Fly? Was The Fly one?
No, this was like a deep cut, obscure, cult classic. And all I remember is I would say one person like Wes, because Wes is I guess he's Italian. And I noticed that on his wall in the kitchen, he had demons up there as a poster in his kitchen. And he was talking about having a Dario Argento double feature. And I was like, okay, that's cute. You can tell he's Italian. He has the Dario Argento because I think he had Suspiria up there. I know Tabby did, but I can't remember what the movie was on the wall in the theater in the Mr. Smithy's class, which is a great name to use because you don't want to put the name on anything and stuff like that. So Alice Smithy, that whole thing. So I'm sorry.
Let's sort of dive into like the first 3 episodes because the season had 10 episodes, so we can sort of break it up into overall arcs for the entire season. So I love the episodes were chapters. So chapter 1 was Spirit Week, chapter 2 was the Spirit Queen, and chapter 3 was the Aftermath. Perfectly encompassed what you need in the first 3 episodes to get what this show's about, fall in love with characters, and have enough mystery and answers to want to continue watching. And so I celebrate them for that. How did you guys feel about that? The first 3 parts, because that was one night. How did you feel about that first night that we had watching it?
So I'm gonna be honest. Again, I didn't get a chance to go back and rewatch everything, so everything runs into together. Yeah. So I did have to do a recap, just because I didn't have time. But I can just go back to my experience watching all 3, and again, kind of like this when I watched the first 3 episodes, again, picking up on all those references and watching these girls and getting to know them, I just knew that I was going to love this show. I just knew that I was going to like, what was going on here, just because, again, it's way different from the original. Even I've never seen it, but I knew they weren't going the horror realm of things. But I was into it. Like, I was looking forward to watching this every single week. I was talking about it in the group chat, was just a lot of fun. And again, I wish I could dig more into the first 3 episodes, but they all run together for me. But I would just say I was sucked in right away, and I was looking forward to it. And I've been wanting a show where I was expecting to get into each week, because I missed that. A lot of shows obviously just put them all out and you just binge it and then it's over. So I was excited to watch those first 3 episodes, loving the characters, and yeah. So again, I don't remember too much.
No, I think it may be easier for us to sort of just talk about. I'll bring up some moments of the first 3 episodes. Like the first one, of course, we had all set up, right? Who the characters were, who their parents were, and then it ended with them all becoming like this. What's that movie? I cannot believe I can't remember this movie, but teenagers in detention.
Breakfast Club.
Thank you. They had this whole Breakfast Club moment of them coming together, not actually being friends already, which I liked. Not being friends and coming together for a mutual enemy. And it ended with Imogen saying, "Let's kill Karen," because Karen was a menace. Karen was your typical Karen, actually, which works. And she's just like her father, Sheriff Beasley, who was awful.
Terrible.
And he was on the DL. We find that out too within the first 3 episodes.
Woo! That scene in the car.
He was getting some dome in the car from one of his guys. So Sheriff Beasley is running this, I guess, juvenile outreach program that Noah's a part of. And he was getting some dome from one of the guys, and Noah walked up on him. And so she got all the tea, and she held it, sort of. Mm-hmm. And after rewatching it and looking at it now, they moved us along the story pretty quickly, which I appreciate, versus the original. It took forever to get to anything. And so by the second episode, we were already at a dance. And then we found out that Germ, aka Karen Beasley, was getting ready to pour blood on me when I won Spirit Queen. And
that's a hater.
And the killer pushed them off and killed them right in front of me. The imagery of it all. I remember seeing Imogen's shoes and the blood from Karen spilling over to her shoes where she was standing, and just her reaction in that moment. I couldn't imagine getting ready to do this thing, and then a dead body just drops down right in front of me.
Yeah.
They need to.
I hope so, Mark.
Do y'all think they will kill a lead character in season 2?
2 need to go. Oh.
How do you do that?
They all float. I did this.
Oh. Mike,
did that one.
Going on over there.
Which?
Isn't it like an iPhone, iMac? Yeah, it's a MacBook, iPhone type thing. Whatever.
Wait a minute, I'm on one of those. Okay, anyway, but do I think they will kill one of them? No. Should they? It will be completely different from what we've seen before.
Yeah.
I think they will probably kill not Karen, but Kelly.
Kelly?
Safer. Yeah, I think so, because she's a liar.
What is the fun of that? I can't.
She's a liar too. Drink it.
Oh yeah, she is a liar.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know I hate when they did. That was my main complaint with the first season. Nobody died. And if they do it again in season 2, I'm going to be highly annoyed. Because everybody else's death in the show means nothing to me. So, like, it's, again, not to bring this up, it's like Scream. The stakes ain't there, baby. You ain't killing the main people.
I mean, I feel like being as though it was only season 1, they were just trying to let us get a feel for these characters and get connected to them before anything. If one of them did die at the end, sure. But I think we were already so connected and loving these characters that they probably didn't want to do that. Yeah. I'm okay with killing one of them off.
Like I said, Scream.
Well, yeah, and maybe that's probably where they were trying to go. But I'm okay with it because we probably wouldn't have gotten to know them the way they are. Because if so in season 2, maybe they'll kill one of them off. But I'm happy because then it will hit harder. You know what I mean? Like if they kill, Tabby or Noah, we know how those two characters were in the first season, so we know that it's going to hit harder. Like Mike said, like Scream, we got to know Randy in the first season. It was sad in the second one when he died. Yeah. Obviously, Dewey, so. I'm okay with them at least killing one next season.
Yeah, I feel that. And I think you nailed it when you said you have to build up for it to matter, right? Killing one of the original.
Exactly.
Them in the first season don't really matter yet. And I would also argue for the second season too. So I would probably vote for Kelly, unfortunately, to be the one to die in season 2 and maybe kill a main one in season 3. If we get that far, if we get that far, like I said earlier, the writer said he would. Oh, I didn't say this publicly, but the writer did an interview and saying if he had it his way, he would have 5 different seasons where each season focused on one of the liars being that final girl of that season. Sort of like Imogen was for season 1. So it feels like Farron
with time to shine.
Exactly, which I appreciate that. But that doesn't mean they can die.
You think Farron?
I mean, technically, if they do that, one of them could die. Like, if, say, for instance, if they're going to focus on in the second season on Noah being the final girl, they can kill Imogen off because she was that final girl in the first. Well, not the final girl, but the shining one in the first season. So, yeah, they can do it like that.
I think that could work too. And Michael, I surprisingly I agree with you that there is no huge reward in Kelly being killed. It's a safe option for sure, unless they do a lot of character development with her this season. However, but it would hurt, and I probably would kill Miles if I had to pick one. And I know that's why I would kill her.
The innocent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
although she is meeting strange men online.
What'd you say?
Said although she is meeting strange men online, but aside from that,
we're sort of walking into it. So, chapter 4, the female gaze. This episode was about Tabby doing that film with her in film class with that the film teacher who didn't have any Black or people of color or female directors on the list. And this episode she focused on Psycho. Another great film reference when she did her pitch to the class. She went and drew a line from slashers, ending with Scream and coming all the way back to Halloween and then ending with Psycho. And that was really smart for her. I love how her brain works in that moment. This is about her reversing those tropes of having the female being the one being objectified and being the one murdered. And she picked the school captain of the football team, whoever he is, Karen's boyfriend, Greg, to be the Janet Leigh of this, which was smart and fun. This was also the episode of Noah's chase scene.
Yes.
I wasn't ready for that chase scene, y'all. I didn't know it was going to go because that was the first time he attacked anybody. That was the first time he showed up to any of them. Oh, sorry. See, episode 1, how he reacted to all of the liars. I remember that scene with Imogen in class, very Halloweenish. He was like, "Look outside."
Oh yeah, he was outside. What I'm going to say is, I mean, there's obviously a lot of nods to Halloween, but the killer himself looked like Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's version of Halloween. When before he got the whole get up, he had the mask with the long raggedy hair and stuff. He literally looks like that version of Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's Halloween, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But that chase scene.
It was she's on the roof and she turns around and looks back in the camera with the close up and then and then runs across the roof and jumps.
Yes,
that was me, bitch. She didn't say that like that, but yeah.
I think she got Helen Shivers beat, honestly.
Now see, you don't have to do all this. She lived, so that is a way to beat her. that is a thing.
She did.
Mark, it's not funny. You're right,
Mark's face. Wait.
You're right. It's not funny at all, and we shouldn't joke about that. It's almost Helen Shivers' holiday, so we can't talk about that.
I got scared of Mark for a moment. I'm like,
I did too.
I mean, the girl couldn't run on the ground, but this girl's hopping over from one roof to another.
You still.
Noah did her thug thizzle from the moment when she recognized he was when I almost said Ghostface, when A was at her door and she looked down, she was like, and she hit it down the hallway. And so, okay, it's a cool chasing. She's getting away, but then he catches up to her and she sort of backs him off the door, and then he falls and she does leap over the banister. And then I was like, Noah, don't hold back at all. Okay, we need that same energy because from the trailers, Farron is twirling in this trailer. So
she sure
I cannot wait to see. Yeah,
I want to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I liked how she made sure. I would just say I like how she made sure she didn't get in trouble where she didn't edge too quick, too far away. Ankle bracelet started going off, and she gets us the right area.
Oh yeah,
where like she's using her brain on 2 different levels. Like, I know you probably try to get me in trouble, but I'm not falling for this shit. So I like that because anybody else probably just forget. Fuck an ankle bracelet. I'm trying to get away from this motherfucker. So
I would have. Fuck that ankle bracelet.
You have to arrest me because I'm not even thinking about that. And the fact that she survived that jump, I mean, she was just everything. I like how she's that balance of athleticism, and then I'm looking at her prom dress now. It's like she's sexy and flirty and in heels, like, and she has the boyfriend. So it's like her character has so many different layers that you wouldn't expect her to have versus Mike and Bobby, you won't get this, but Emily, which is her comparison, because Emily was the swimmer in the original show, and she was a lesbian, and so and all those different things were different.
Which what?
Nothing. So the next episode, which is one of all of our favorites, The Night He Came Home, and we know what that reference is. It's the Halloween episode, and I think they handled this episode perfectly. It has so many great moments. One of my favorites was Imogen's costume. It was just like, I mean, yeah, Imogen, that makes sense to be Rosemary. That was smart. Yeah. Mike, Poison Ivy, bad. Just bad.
Yeah.
Actually. And Mark and Bobby, you at one point you were
from was it Ripley?
Park. It was Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters. At the party, it was Ghostbusters.
Oh yes.
Okay. Can we talk about Tabby, trauma, football jock, the Smurf?
He had it coming.
Yeah,
I love the moment where I don't remember what he said about black girl, nothing, but then you had her and Farron going at him at the same time.
Yes.
That was the moment Farron pulled up on what was his name? Jake?
Tyler.
I don't know.
Tyler. Shut the fuck up, Tyler. Farron pulled up on him. And I was like, yes, because Tabby was already going toe to toe with him. When he said that angry black girl statement. That's all it took. I like how these girls
pissed me off. Yeah, they're very feisty, but I was like looking in the background. I'm like, there's a black dude standing right there. I'm like, you gonna really sit there and let them? I'm just little small stupid shit. I was like, you can really sit there and let them call like these black women.
There's a certain kind of people that are like that. They just sit there and don't do anything. Unfortunately,
I mean, if he gets disrespectful, because angry black girl, she's holding her own. But like after she punched him, and if he would have came back, then for sure we're not going for it. Because but that whole scene was great because he said something to her, and Imogen was like, she's not being this, she's just protecting her friend or something like that. So they all were just being part of this whole conversation and not playing with Tyler at all. Yes, we know what happened.
Question. Because the first few episodes, from what I remember, they were going by days. I was like, did they only know each other for a few days up until this Halloween party? Okay.
They trauma bonded real quick.
Yeah.
Because remember, they got the episode 2 on chapter 2, the Spirit Queen. They got the text message all from A, letting them know that this was not an accident. All y'all are connected. I set all this up for y'all.
Okay.
I'll definitely be connecting right with them right away. We all got this message. This is what we need to do. So we have to have each other's back. Yep.
I guess that makes
sense. Best friends forever.
I was like, why are they acting like they're in the end of Waiting to Exhale at the table, sitting down on the floor?
And if they were
doing the electric slide by the fire, yes. Do y'all think we will see Aria from the original Pretty Little Liars in the second season? Because we did hear the girls mention her and Ezra are as the parents taking the baby that Imogen had. That is a good question. So I believe so. However, I think I do know something that a gay couple, 2 guys, actually became the parents. So that could just be a wrong thing that I heard. However, per the end of the season, it was going to go to Aria and Ezra, who were one of the main characters from the original show, which will be lovely.
Ezra sound black.
He is not.
He's not.
Actually, he is a writer and a bookstore owner. And that's how him and Aria connected. So the parallel there is Tabby and Aria, because Tabby was being hit on by the older guy who was the manager at the movie theater, right? And so that was the same type of parallel with Aria and Ezra, because Ezra was the substitute teacher or the teacher's aide. She was in high school.
He was a teacher. He was a full-on English teacher.
He was a full young, 20-something teacher, and they had a relationship. And so
this shit pissed me off.
Everybody was disgusted versus Tabby, who handled it correctly. And can we circle back to how Tabby's mother, Sharon, rolled up on the guy at the movie theater and went in?
I'm gonna cut your dick off, bitch. Yes, goddamn it, cut his shit off. Cut his shit off, because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, cut his damn dick out because I got so tired of him. I'm like, dude, that's your damn teenage. That's your employee. Chill out.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of men who don't give a fuck about none of that.
None of it. But what I will say is he was sort of innocent, right? I mean, I know it's not right. Okay, I hear that, but he wasn't like creepy about it. He did take her home, and then they sort of pulled off. I think this is episode 1 where they went to like it was dark, and he wanted a cigarette, and then Tabby saw the killer, and he was like, "I'm going to go investigate."
Oh, that was him.
Get back in, and I can't remember the movie she referenced, but you know what she was given. So she was like, "Get back in. We're not going to do this." No, man.
But I had an issue with him when she asked him about the thumb drive, and he invited her over. That pissed me off because even though he's innocent, the fact that you lured her over to your house and you're an adult,
he has intentions.
He had intentions.
Attempting something.
Oh, we'll get to the thumb drive in a minute, but first we're gonna have dinner. Like, no, I came for this goddamn thumb drive. I need that so I can go to the fucking house. So you take away the trauma behind it. It still was kind of like very,
it ain't like she's been left back and she's 19. This girl's like 15 years old.
Right?
Is she?
I think they're supposed to be young. I don't think they're seniors. I don't get seniors.
No, they're not seniors. No.
They're sophomores, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, and he's a freshman or sophomore in college, so that is a bit cringe.
And then we have the friend who we're not suspecting.
Oh, sorry.
I called it on his. I called on his ass. I just knew something was up, but he sat there and placed himself behind, as Imogen's
baby father.
He is so that his whole thing of what he did. So let's just skip ahead a little bit to the moment where Tabby and Imogen confront him about they figured it out, but they need to confirm it. And remember, they make it seem like they already know and corner him at the movie theater. And he's just like, and then Imogen's their monologue was like, "You made me like you. You was on this assignment with me, and you did this to me. You need no, sir. I hope that you're sliced and diced by the end of this season, or I don't know what happens to you, but he is a sociopath, big time."
And like in reality, he gets off.
Did he though?
Bail.
Oh yeah, did he? Because you know the ending.
Well, true.
We'll never know. There's a lot of people in the comments. Let's just shout out to Mark, Alex, Germ,
Christy,
hey, and Love and Horror. Okay. Thank y'all for Niece, thank you. Nisi, thank you. And for the ones I can't see in the chat, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I hope you got a cocktail. Make sure that you subscribe, turn on those notifications, and hanging out. This is the precursor to what we are getting ready for, which is the season episode review. Yeah, the Halloween episode was probably one of my favorites, not because everybody was in costumes and not because they were just being hot, but that kill with Tyler upstairs was sort of brutal.
It was.
Now, I was wondering why I'm wondering if he killed him just because he overheard them saying that he's basically, I don't know, he's just very sexually aggressive in everything he's saying. So maybe he killed him because he figured,
I think one of the overall themes of this season is SA, sexual assault against or things of that nature, right? And so any type of offense, I think that A was trying to make up for that due to the trauma of what happened to what we found out to be his twin sister, Angela. And so remember when they confronted the movie Tabby's coworker, what was his name again?
Chip.
Not the older one. Chip. When they confronted Chip, the killer showed up and Imogen was like, he hurt us just like they hurt and he went after him. So I think that's an overall, he's an anti-hero, apparently.
Mm.
To people who were that's experienced that type of trauma, for sure. What do we think about Chapter 7, Carnival of Souls? This was the episode when they went to the carnival and Mouse had her moment in the Hall of Mirrors.
The House of Mirrors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mirrors. And just to pause for a second, Mouse and her storyline was actually extremely interesting. Like, everybody had their own backstories they were dealing with individually, but I thought hers was so cool because she was dealing with two parents that have their own trauma surrounding her being abducted when she was younger, and then she's dealing with that trauma by reaching out to people who experienced that, to be like this sort of grief counselor or whatever you want to call it she was doing. And she finds a partner, a trans guy that she's in love with. So I love how they sort of intertwine all that with her character, and it was so much all at once, but it was great. Because normally I wouldn't like her character.
I felt that she had the best growth out of all 5 of the girls, because she went from literally being quiet as a mouse to being, like, to some extent, the heart of the group, where she was the one who's kind of like told Noah and Farron, like, what happened to us to being in this together? Because, you know, when Sheriff Beasley had Noah scared shitless to go ahead and throw them other girls in the bus, it was just like, it was Mouse was like, nah, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I know we aren't solidified friends yet, but we don't want to make a situation worse by, you know, knocking 2 of our allies up under throwing them under the bus because we just don't have to be scared of Sheriff Beasley, which goes into the whole thing about high school. The little shit that you think is like a life ender, they're
means
not.
nothing.
Sheriff Beasley jurisdiction don't last nowhere outside of Millwood. So somebody had to come investigate his ass anyway eventually. That's just how I looked at it, but I don't know.
He got what was coming to him too.
Yes, he did.
Can we pause for a little and talk about Karen, and because I think we sort of glazed over Karen and Kelly, and even that storyline about being living in your sister's shadow, and because they did a really good job of making us think that it was actually Karen who was alive and not Kelly.
Yeah.
And I was even confused. Even the rewatch, I was like, remember which one is actually alive? Which is a callback to the original show because they had 2 sets of twins in the original. But
right.
Actually 3.
Jeez.
3? No, ma'am.
See, a mess. A mess.
They didn't need all that.
And all fake out.
That's
All deaths. You thought one was dead, but it was actually the twin. And you thought this one was dead, but it was actually the twin. You thought you killed this one, but it was actually the twin.
Oh,
then
God.
somebody had a sex change. It was just a mess. But anyway,
it's entirely too much going on.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
But I enjoyed how they quickly handled that with Karen and Kelly. And I enjoyed Kelly's working through and becoming an actual character. Because she was, of course, we saw her living in her sister's shadow. But then when she started standing up to her father and putting the story together and realizing that he's a bad guy and Farron is not a bad girl, I just enjoyed her story coming full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
I feel like that's one of the reasons why I gravitated towards Farron because I posted on Instagram. I was on Twitter. I was on episode 3 when I posted my new favorite teen queen, Farron Bryant, because I know I have somebody in my life that not only looks like Farron, but shut up, that looks like Farron, but is also has the same, attributes. Like, she can't just sit there and play nice. She can't be fake. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the realest moments for Farron was when they was all at the gravesite of Karen, and they were just saying, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to. We might have had our issues and everything, but you deserve to be here. And Farron just came straight out. I didn't like you. You know what I'm saying? I said that's the realest shit because
being real, yeah,
Exactly.
being real. And I was like, y'all protect her at all costs. But when shit hits the fan, when she realized she was wrong, she went back and apologized.
Yeah.
No, Kelly was fucking with her. Kelly was making it hard for her. But every time she confronted Kelly and then she would sit there and see this Kelly was in pain, she would put aside her anger and be like, yo, talk to me. Just tell me what's going on. Just, and I feel like it was out of, in a sort of way, she was trying to make up for the fact that, your sister was a bitch and everything like that, though. But I kind of see some type of kindred, spirit with 22 of us because constantly having to fight for our spot in the light, for our time in the spotlight. And your sister was just doing everything in her power to make sure nobody got there, so I understood it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just stay on Farron for a moment and talk about her character development? And talk about her character development and her relationship with her mom, because that's a big part of this too. Because I understand the pressures of wanting to be having to be perfect and be on, and how that feels, that pressure coming from your parents. And I think they painted that relationship so perfectly with her mom. She didn't have to have that surgery, but her mom wanted to because she dealt with her own personal issues. I think her mom was also a dancer, but she wasn't as successful, and she wanted her daughter to be thin and pretty and perfect. And she had made her get the surgery, and that came to a boil when you figured out that Farron had this scar. And I can't remember the episode, but it was when Black Swan premiered. And
episode 6.
Episode 6, and she wanted, I need a new picture to show my back. Don't put this mesh on my costume. And that's when her mama got in that fake car wreck. And so, but yeah, and then she stopped wearing just some subtle things, like she stopped wearing her hair straight, started wearing it natural to embrace her natural beauty. I was just like, subtle things like that, right, in character development are so important. Mike, with you being Farron, how do you feel about her character development and what she went through this season?
I was about to do a Tiffany Pollard quote from Flavor of Love.
Give it to us.
No. I actually think she's a lot like her mother when I think about, because her father doesn't give me straightforward, blunt, honest, or assertive. I think she gets all of those traits from her mother, so I guess it makes sense that they don't get along. I think her growth is showing that she can care a little bit more than she did in the beginning, because in the beginning she very much so was like, I like we said, I didn't like you. I mean, maybe you don't deserve to be here in this grave, I don't know, but but she gets to show that she has a heart in the end. I think that's her biggest growth. And obviously accepting herself. But next season, I'm gonna be beating ass. And yeah.
Let's hope so.
Twirling on the girls.
Okay, daughter.
Because I am graceful and I can dance. So if I can fight a little bit, I should be a good foe to go up against.
Do you think in another world she could be Karen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Minus the racism, but yes.
that would be so funny.
That would be crazy.
So y'all
her
saying
being the queen bee.
She would be yeah, I can see that, but I feel like at the same time she kind of was like, I don't care about being like the center of attention in terms of like trying to get likes from people, because you can clearly look at Farron and tell she don't give two fucks if you like her or not. She gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing why I liked about her, like, because you know how we used to getting used to some of these shows. If somebody's knocked down a peg or two, then they all of a sudden become part of the you know, the outsiders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Farron was like, yo, I didn't belong to no clique before.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I didn't belong to a clique then. I really don't belong to a clique now. We're technically all just real you know, we all real cool with each other. And I don't, you know, but I know that she's not the type of person like, if I see you hanging with that bitch, you will not be sitting at our table tomorrow, you fucking whore. None of that shit. She's all just chill. She's just super chill. Don't get in her face. And things will be straight, you know.
She is the epitome of I just came here to dance.
Okay? Listen,
I just came here to dance.
Listen, y'all got me scared of my girl.
I think in the right circumstances, she could be Karen.
So. For sure. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, all these girls, well, not all of them, but like, I think Farron in another school, she probably would have been that girl. And she was she was still that girl. She was just like Mark said, I'm just not bothered.
I'm not bothered.
That's why when we were first introduced to her, I thought she was going to be a mean girl. Because I was like, hold up, this energy she's giving off a little bit. But I mean, I feel for her too. The pressures of your parents wanting you to be one thing because of what they didn't accomplish when they were younger. So now they're putting that onto you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that generational, I guess, type trauma stuff. It's like, well, I didn't get a chance to do it and stuff like that. And so you're going to have to do everything that what I wanted myself to be. So, and it's a shame because it still happens today. Like I still see some people go through that. So it's just,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I want to circle back to episode 1, I think, or 2, 1, when Imogen was struggling with wanting to have an abortion, and she was already 6 months in, and the principal brought her into the office. He was like, "Students don't feel comfortable with you being here," and she punched Syria and Red, Karen, and I can't remember his name again. The boyfriend.
I'm sorry,
Chris McClan.
It was kind of corny to me. I didn't buy it.
What was?
When she came in there, she did her little pregnant walk into the cafeteria, and she was like, "How dare you?" Or I don't know. She cussed. I know she cussed. She did call Greg.
Are you fucking serious, Karen? I was like, "This is not it, girl. You better choose better words if you're gonna be coming at somebody in front of the whole cafeteria. This is embarrassing for you." I was not buying it. It was a fail for me.
She's like, "Greg, you piece of shit." It was so.
I like how she sat there. It's so dramatic about it. It just so like it was not original PLL. Let's just say it like that.
No.
It was. It's like Tamon said earlier. These girls are actually fighting back. They're talking back to the aggressors. They're sitting there. You would have a whole storyline about one of the original Pretty Little Liars being like, "Oh my God, so and so is in my class, and they just doing this stuff to me on top of the stuff I got with A and this and that." And it's just like, do girls like, look, today's 2022 girls, I have enough shit on my plate. You finna get this tongue lashing right now because I'm not finna sit here and let you get it. But I like how Farron at the end was like, "Hey, she got my vote," you know, because she was like, "I'm tired of this too."
That's what made me think about it. Because when Imogen punched it out of there, Farron was like, "She got my vote," and
but can we talk about that right quick? Talk about that pregnant walk, because can I ask y'all something? There was plenty of times when Imogen, whatever her name is, was walking or doing something, and I'm like, "Girl, you're pregnant. Can you remember for just a second that you're pregnant?" Because I didn't get it. I was like, she's walking around. You could tell that she's throwing this damn pillow around.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I think she was forgetting.
Because I'm seeing some girls who was 6 to 7 months pregnant. They weren't moving that damn fast. I've had to do
They should have actually gave her something heavy, like maybe give her something heavy so she can actually feel like she's maybe pregnant, so it gives her a harder time to move around. I don't know. She was walking mighty fast.
She was walking, and then when she was getting slung around and stuff like that, and I'm like, you do have a baby, like act like you actually are like in pain, because you're not fighting for just you fighting for you and this damn baby. So I mean, you like, ow, grab the stomach or something like that. Hell, Cordelia,
right?
Let me stop. But no, I really had issues with her being not with her being pregnant. I had issues with her, so I'm like, girl, you get your ass pregnant.
I'm going to reserve my thoughts to her in the finale to comment about that because she did the most with this baby inside of her. And that's one thing my mom pointed out. She was like, why are you doing this investigating with this baby inside of you? Just chill out. Just chill out.
Send them girls out on missions. Be like, yo, here's a walkie-talkie. Farron, you go here. Mouse, you go over here. I'm going to sit here and
Farron's not doing that, baby. That's not happening.
Farron was like, I'll do your little movie because I don't have nothing else to do. But I'm not.
I love that movie, though. I love that outfit she had, that Marion Crane outfit she put on Farron. I was like, yo, I see
with
it.
The wig.
I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah, she was good in that. We're going to go to a commercial. And when we come back, we're going to talk about our final thoughts about season 1, what we want and expect for season 2, and anything else we come up with. And on that note, let's take another sip. I keep refilling mine when I shouldn't, but Liars.
Empty here, but that's it.
That's okay. I'm throwing you an edible.
Speaking of which, I'll grab it.
Ooh.
Back in 1978, there was a terrible fire here. Some kids left a campfire alone. Winds picked up, and it started to grow. The fire spread through the forest, burning everything in its path. They dug into the ground as their last hope. One of the rain hopper started chopping a tree, trying to start a fire line. After the fire passed, all they could find was Warren's charred skeleton. Years later, locals claim to see this strange figure with a skull for a head, carrying an axe, guarding the woods in the middle of the night. You better run, because Warren Copper will come for you.
Absolutely. Make sure you check them out. They reached out to us and Scream Kings for us to promote and work with them on their new film that's out, of course, on all streaming platforms. Check them out. We have the information below in our bio.
That looks fun.
Yeah, it's what we love, that whole summer feel horror. So it's perfect for this time of year. Last year we did our summer fun. So Pretty Little Liars will fill that gap for us this season. Any other characters that sort of stood out to you or that you wanted, that you were impressed with in season 1?
I mean, again, I love all the characters, but we didn't really talk about the mom flashbacks too much. And I do appreciate those. Those were a lot of fun. And watching all of them and their little shenanigans and stuff. And obviously one of my favorite scenes I think is in the Halloween episode when they were dressed like the Spice Girls, and that took me back. It comes like, yes, because I can't believe like right now we're in an era where we're now doing like, you know, flashbacks to the 90s, and it makes me feel old because I'm so used to seeing that in the 80s and 70s, you know, with the movies that we watched. But now they're doing flashback to the 90s. That's the era that we grew up in. So it's very interesting to see that, but also a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cute until you sit there like I was.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm thinking about all these movies that are coming out, and the parents are like our age. Even what movie was that? I was going to say Them season 2, but that's in a different time period. But yeah, but to your point, the flashbacks were great. I enjoyed how they gave us exposition in a cool way to what's going on, and so we see the scene, and they did a great job of tying in those scenes to the present. character development, as I've said 100 times, is one of my favorite things about show and show writing and just writing in general. They did such a good job at developing even the original liars, who were not even the focal point slick of this. Which brings us to the finale, where everything comes to an end, and this is the point we've been waiting on for all the tea to come out. So in the episode before that, chapter 9, Dead and Buried, that's where one of the tropes I dislike is when the parents have no clue what's going on. And that's a common thing in horror movies. Even Bobby, you said that thank you for being better than 90% of the moms in horror movies. That was in one of the episodes that Tabby said. And I was like, you're absolutely correct, because most of the time the parents are having their own conversation. Their own conversation. Everybody's dead. And by the end of it, like, oh, we should just have a conversation. Even though it took a little bit longer than I wanted, they still were able to like sit down, original liars and the new liars, and say, this is what's been happening to us. And I was sitting there with my mom, and I was like, would you want me to have told you what was going on based off things that you've done in your past? She was like, yeah. And I was like, this seems so simple, but they were almost blackmailed to not being able to share what was going on.
I mean, we're not parents, right? But like, would we want to tell our kids the crazy shit that we did in the past?
We were mean bitches, and,
right?
We did some bad things.
They did some very foul shit, and I feel like that's the reason why so many of them wanted their girls to be better than them. Like, you look at each parent, they have their own way of saying, like, baby, don't be me, don't be who I was in school. Except for Marjorie, who just cannot take responsibility for anything that she did. Because I was like, girl, you sent your whole you jeopardized your whole entire child's future. Because, like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And you realize when it goes, because initially I thought that when Noah, because she just seemed like this very all-American type young woman, young girl, she was very responsible. And then you thinking like, okay, she's like got this bad rap with whole community service thing. She probably made a mistake, but she seemed like she was taking it in stride. Like, I fucked up. I'm gonna do my time. Pay my time, pay my due back to society and all this shit. And then you realize that her mom set her up. It was like, what? Like the one person that you can trust, right? One person you think you can trust. And then you realize that her mom did the exact same thing to Angela. Like Bobby was saying a few minutes ago, like how all the lies were tied back into the parents' lies and whatnot. Like, you still haven't learned your lesson yet. And
nope.
I was like, damn, girl. And even Corey, who she does have this I need to be perfect at all times, type air about her. But I kind of like the Farron clap back to her a little bit. I was kind of a little shocked about some of these girls, how they was clapping back to some of their parents, because I'm like, girl, that's your mama. Like,
well,
it's generational for sure.
It's generational.
I don't know. Me and my mom, because my mom was a cheerleader in high school, and so we talked about all these things. Like, were you a mean girl, mom? She was like, no, of course. I was like, sure. And so, like, you don't really know, because you have to remember your parents are people and humans and had their own life before you was even born. So there are things that they done and lived just like we have that we don't know about and may not ever know about. And I think it's fair. That's what makes the show so good, is that it really sheds a light onto generations and things that are passed down. And I just love that scene when they were just, it was a scene where they were at the pizza place. I guess it's the only restaurant in the whole town, because they were at the pizza place, and the original liars.
Coming soon is Jacob's Pizzeria to town, and they will be putting them out of business.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so that probably was the pizzeria they were at, but it was
not.
Oh, you're right, because it was open.
Girl.
but I like that scene. I like that scene because the parents was like spilling their tea in their table and the girls were spilling their tea. What I love is like the girls are side-eyeing their mom was like, y'all know, we know y'all shady. And y'all not telling us this. I just hate when like parent or the adult figures in shows or movies or in life, like, you know the answer. Just tell us.
Just say
Just tell us. And it's crazy because Taymon, you remember that one of the aspects of the original Pretty Little Liars is the fact that even though these girls were friends at one time, and then they had the situation happen, they kind of strained, they went their own ways and came back because it's just like none of their parents, they picked up on their weird behavior, but it was like they would think it was something else entirely going on. Like, oh well,
yeah.
I'm like, y'all don't talk. No clue. And then that one scene, I remember from the original Pretty Little Liars, there was one scene where all the mothers got together and actually had a conversation about their daughters. Now, keep in mind, this probably was in season 3, mid-season 4, or something like that. And I'm like, your girls have been at a ton of police crime scenes. Like, y'all don't have a book club or something like that, but y'all can come together and talk about your girls and be like, why is our daughters constantly getting caught up in like police business? Nobody's having a conversation.
Why am I always buying chic black dresses for them to wear to funerals every year? Now, that's one thing I will tell y'all. When the original girls went to funerals, they were beat. Every time.
Beat.
So in the finale of Original Sin, all the mothers got kidnapped,
which was a great scene.
That was a nice montage. I'll give them that, especially Sharon Leo doing the little decorations and get snatched off the tree. So I enjoyed that they were involved in some of the violence that was taking place, and not only were the mothers, but people who were also including other things. I think Chip was kidnapped. I think the principal was, we found out, was actually the mastermind. Which was nice because we didn't see him too often. And you found out that the principal is Angela's father, and Angela had a twin brother who was not all there. In lack of better words, I apologize for saying it like that, but he became the Michael Myers of this show this season, which is what he was. Like Bobby said, exactly what he was. Can we talk about that moment when he gave Imogene the countdown to leave the building?
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what you gonna do with this baby?
About to run in my mind. The moment for me was when Imogen left and she made it out of the building, she got to the street, and then she turned around and she realized, like, oh shit, he actually is really following me. And then she screamed.
Yeah.
And then she's hit it. And that was one of the best moments for me. Like, she was like, oh wow, he's really coming after me.
And her mom talked to her, like from beyond the grave, kind of like through memories, like, oh, what do I do? Because as soon as she started booking that run, I guess the baby sat there and said, oh, so we doing this, Mom, for real? We're really doing this right now, right? Okay, then that baby said, pop. Okay, then let's play games. Since we want to play games, here I come. Like, ready or not, here I come. Like, for real, I'm coming out. Like, no, baby, don't do it now. Don't come down. Like, shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she did her big one in the finale. I think everybody else was, making sure their moms were okay and the collateral damage was okay, and they were trying to get to Imogen too. But she did her big one in the finale. Her chase scene was great. Her fight, I'm just surprised. I mean, yes, her water should have definitely broke, but
I thought it did. Didn't it break when she
Yeah.
ran?
It broke. Eventually broke, but I feel like the contraction gave her a little bit of energy because she shaked the fuck at that man in his damn neck. She was like, "What's it? Did she stab him in the neck?"
She did. When she was in the shower, she jumped out, stabbed him. Then he tossed her around, and she stabbed him again. And then he got hospitalized. And then in the epilogue of the show, you found out that he escaped. And prior to that, Sheriff Beasley was stabbed by his wife once it was revealed that he was living foul and doing all these things or whatever. And so once the killer was hospitalized, he woke up, killed Sheriff Beasley. So I'm sure we're going to have a new sheriff. Killed Sheriff Beasley, and then he showed up on the front door of Chip. Hopefully he killed him.
Hopefully, yes.
And we didn't mention this, but it was alluded that Chip sexually SA'd Tabby and coincidentally also Imogene.
Yeah.
They pushed it with that, but I'll take it, sure. But what are your overall?
No, I would say I thought that was interesting because they were so connected and he couldn't get with her. So I done get this girl pregnant. So yeah, what you call it? I got skin in the game with this one. So I
was pissed.
Trying to
man, I was over him, man. What are our final thoughts about season 1 of Original Sin?
Final thoughts. I thought again it was a great something different, something refreshing. Again, the characters. I love the very ending when they got a chance to interrogate their parents with all the shit that they did. That was an intense scene, actually. That was really, really good. I mean, the killer was different, and it was just a lot of fun surprises, and just the different characters and their personalities made us fall in love with them and just made us want a season 2, there was some things in here I'm just like, okay, like we talked about Imogene a lot with her being pregnant. It was some moments when she was just like, all right, girl, is that a pillow or what? But outside of it, I thought the season was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, but when I get some time, I definitely want to try to rewatch season 1 all over again. And I cannot wait for season 2. I'm excited because bitch, we're in summer camp. Summer school. And and I just know that from what the trailer, what they gave us, it looked like it's everything, and I can't wait to see who's going to shine in this cast this go around. So yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. While you still got the mic, is there anything that you're looking forward to in season 2?
As hard as like I don't want this because me, I don't want beloved characters to die, but one of them, yes, do have to go. I'm just looking for more creative kills. I'm looking for a reference to more Friday the 13th, sleepaway camps. Like I want more of the summery slashers and stuff referenced in this season here. And from what we see, the killer looks kind of cuckoo bananas. Like I don't know, it's like a Dead by Daylight character, and I'm living.
It does,
hopefully, yes, and I'm okay with it. And hopefully, they give us more blood and some fun stuff.
Okay. I'm here for all of that. What about you, Mike? How are you feeling?
I echo everything Bobby just said. I would like more than one death though in the next season. I'm thinking 2 of the main girls, maybe 3 if we're including the twin, and maybe some parents. Because in my mind, I'm just thinking we had like 9 or 10 survivors in this first season, and that will not stand in my eyes. So, yeah, but it's exciting. It was fun. It kept my attention. It brought me back every week to watch, which is kind of difficult these days for people to do. Season 2, what else? I'm kind of wanting a hint of something supernatural in season 2. It doesn't need to be over the top, but a hint of something supernatural.
Another Ouija board episode?
Perhaps.
As long as they keep it cute, I don't want them to get too happy with it, and all of a sudden
give us like a Nightmare on Elm Street reference. Maybe they have just like a
Okay.
dream, a nightmare of some sort. I don't know, something.
Okay, I'm for that. And any final thoughts on season 1?
Safe but fun.
Love that. Mark, I'm gonna toss it to you. How are you feeling about season 1, and what do you want for season 2?
Well, for season 1, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I do champion the fact that it did something with an original, IP and did its own thing with it, gave its own spin, and that's to say that the people behind both Original Sin and the second iteration of Gossip Girl, I like the fact they went back to the books and put some stuff on TV that they truncated from the original source material, because an audience today is like, okay, we're seeing a pregnant teenage girl in the middle of some drama and shit like that, because in the original book series, Emily, who in the TV show is designated as a lesbian, through and through, but in the book series, she was actually sexual and she ended up getting pregnant. So I feel like they, kind of like corrected some wrongs in there, like with Mouse's character having her have a trans boyfriend, and she has 2 lesbian moms, or 2, like a gay couple as moms, which I thought was cool. But this is a love letter for those who love horror, and I feel like they did it. They like Bobby was talking about all the Easter eggs and stuff. Seeing the posters and seeing somebody outside of my mind, Mindy Meeks Martin, who's a black girl who know who she is, but she knows her shit when it comes to horror. And it's not like all these girls were supporting characters to the pregnant Imogen, or whatever we call it now. They all had their time to shine. And I feel like for them to be able to do that with not just 5 girls, but 6, give them all their time to just grow. Yeah, it's a great thing. As far as what I want from season 2, I kind of hope they do something along the lines of like Scream season 2 did, where one of the main 6 died. Yeah, I just want a little bit more depth, and I want a little bit more mystery, and I also want some supernatural brought in, because Ravenswood, because Pretty Little Liars, was they went straight to supernatural.
Yeah,
curses, ghosts, all this shit. And the crazy thing is, Millwood, we all know Millwood, Ravenswood, Rosewood, and whatever town that fucking Perfections took place in, is like
Rosewood. Is this in Florida?
All the same. No, it
was a nigga.
That also Rosewood, Riverdale too. Also Riverdale.
Huh? Riverdale.
Also
yeah.
Riverdale. And the town that Sabrina's a part of.
Right. Ugh. So all of that is like, so they should go ahead and just give us a supernatural thing. Technically, you think about it, the killer himself might end up being supernatural, because I don't know how the fuck he survived it.
It's funny that you say that. Season 2 introduces a new villain, which we are grateful for, because unlike the original, we went on and on and on with A. This season, we're introduced to Bloody Rose, who is rumored, if you say their name so many times, they will appear and kill you. So it is a different twist. And I'm going to give you a few things that have been publicly released about season 2. No spoilers, of course. What we know so far is that Imogen gets a new love interest. We know that Noah has a close, this is what I stopped myself from saying earlier, but we're at the point now. Noah has a close female friend this season.
I could see that too.
Yes, it's that. They call Tabby and Imogen Tabogen. They are the besties of all besties. Bloody Rose.
I don't like that name.
Tabogen.
Yeah. That sounds like a disease.
or medicine to take for a disease.
Medicine.
Yeah.
Here's your Tapaging for the day. Also, they say that Mouse and Ash are the power couple of the series.
Thank God.
So that's
They're
nice.
16.
Yeah, some couples make it.
Oh, baby, tell them about Pretty Little Liars original shit. Them damn
It's not even worth it. Those girls, they did a 5-year time jump. That's how you know the show's over. They did a 5-year time jump, and they're still married.
To the same people. They're still with these same people. It's like, yo, there's love. There's more fish and whatever else in the sea. That's why I was like, I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Bloody Rose was revealed as Rose Waters by the series creator, so that's not a spoiler.
Okay.
They really released that. What I do find interesting is that Bloody Rose isn't just hunting the liars; they're testing them through Saw-like tests. So they are raising the. From what I'm reading, they're raising the stakes on the blood and the kills. So we're getting what we want. And from reading that, I think we do need to lose an important liar this season. And there's one more. Farron is a lifeguard. As we saw, I don't know if you saw her recent photo of her at the press junket, but she was nasty in this one-piece bathing suit. But she's a lifeguard, and guess who's a lifeguard with her? Tyler? No. What was Kelly's boyfriend name? I mean, Karen's boyfriend name.
Greg.
Greg is a lifeguard too, and Farron is the only female. So you can imagine what this is going to be like for her this summer on that thing. But she's not, from what I'm reading, she's not holding back at all. So a lot of exciting things. My wrap-up for season 1, I was so impressed, so excited. I was sold when they showed us the name of Farron's mom's law firm. That's sort of what locked me in. But each episode was great. It was a nod to the horror slashers and genre that we love. I enjoy each of the liars. Even though I'm Imogen now, and she wasn't my favorite, probably because she was pregnant the first season. But from the pictures and that I've been seeing of her that was released for season 2, she's a baddie, and she's out here, and she's about to live her best life. I look forward to seeing everybody in their development. And my highlight overall from season 1 was Noah and her chase scene. Season 2, I want to see death, murder, a bigger and better story that's not tied to what we just went through. It could be revenge, sure, that's fine. This Waters family, whatever we're going to get. But I do think it's time for us to lose someone. And I didn't think, Farron, I didn't think to lose a parent.
But that's a good idea, yeah.
That's good. We lost Imogen's mom, but which I was
she was
over.
The bitch, so
she was not a reformed bitch. But yes, I'm super excited for season 2. And as we all are, make sure that you guys tune in this Sunday because episode 1 and 2 drop tomorrow.
God.
It's starting. So make sure you tune in.
I forgot. I also like that they're a really diverse group of girls.
Yes.
So and it feels natural. Right.
Yes. And there's one white girl, Imogen, that's fine, but it still feels like these girls will be at the same school. Their parents probably would have been friends, and they look like they're a cool friend circle. And it doesn't feel like just diversity and inclusion type of character. It feels like cool. And I also heard that Tabby and Farron auditioned for the same roles.
I can't even see that.
Well, when I look at Farron and Tabby's mom, I can see how that would be casted for her mom because they look almost exactly alike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. So tune in with us, the Scream Kings, on Sunday as we cover episode 1 and 2 of Pretty Little Liars season 2,
Summer School.
So make sure you have on your sunscreen, your summer colors, and a fruity drink, and come and hang out with us. Thank you again for spending this time with us. We love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell us people all about us. I am Tamon Kane. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, streaming Dead by Daylight, and talking a lot of stuff on Twitter. about things that I don't like about horror. And I'm gonna popcorn it to Michael.
This is Michael, also known as @ThacaryBinks86. You can find me trolling many people, but also speaking the truth. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and People Under the Scares podcast with Bobby below. I'm like the Amanda Seals of horror.
You know what? That's actually true. And I don't know if you can brag about that, but go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, that's not good. And I I
come with facts.
What you think is facts?
It's facts.
Delusions.
Delulu.
Is Lori crying in the corner?
All right, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Is Alice non-existent to this day? Fact.
She's alive, living, and well.
You don't know where she at.
And running the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise because she's alive.
Anyway, it's my turn. I will be Bobby.
Actually, Heather Langenkamp said that she wanted to return.
She's dead. Dead.
Go ahead, Bobby, please.
Only one of us has faced them twice and survived.
Yeah, I understand what it means to face the killer several times and survive. Yeah, Bobby, please.
What your teachers used to say when you're in school, when you're talking, they'd be like, "I'll wait." I would be Bobby, of course. Bobby Torres with Fizzy Not S on Instagram, Twitter, People Under the Scares with Mike, the Ultra Tapes with Mark, and obviously here, Scream Kings.
Oh shit. You can find me again on Instagram, Marco Estes, or Midnight Social Distortion on X, The Anti-Critic on Midnight Social Story, the podcast.
You drunk, girl?
I'm fading. I'm fading. Leave me alone. I'm trying to do this. I'm fading. Y'all see where y'all can find me on the bottom here. Go there and you'll find me. And you also will find me on the Alter Tapes. Hopefully sometime soon with Bobby, because it's been a long time since me and Bobby did the episode.
Yes.
And here on the Scream Kings. And hopefully me and Tamana pop up soon on People Under the Scares as guests.
Well.
Yes. Well.
Who knows?
In a few weeks, they just might be. And it's going to be an all-out war.
What will we possibly talk about, Mark?
I mean,
but again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to continue to imbibe and enjoy the rest of our night. Happy Wednesday, and we will see you on Sunday. Good night.
Mother's Day, right?
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, Lord. Oh.